All right. By now you have done the transitions. In the last video, I just did like three, but you were supposed to finish all of them. So by now you should have, it should play like this: sketch, transition into lines, transition into shadows, transition into color, and then sky is to appear gradually, same as the people. Okay. So what I did there, so just so you can see, again, same principle. Just play with the opacity, and I made them. They're not right. For example, this one is not at 4. It's past 4. This one is not at 6. It's past 6, which is fine. I started stretching the seconds in each layer so that I could get a smoother transition. So don't stick to 4, to 2, 4, 6, or 8. That was just to get started, but I started stretching them further than that and both ways, so that the transition itself, they were not too close to each other. Okay, because this I also want to have it see for a couple of seconds. I want to see it and then disappear. I don't want for it to appear for 1 or 2 keyframes and then disappear, or 1 or 2 frames and then disappear. I want for it to see it, stay for a while, and then disappear or transition into the next one. So don't leave it right at 2, 4, 6, 8. You might need to move them so you can have more space between your keyframes. Okay, so play around with that. You should have done that by now. So now what we need to do, again, right now we're at sketch, lines, and look at the transition. It's subtle. That's what you want. Sky and people. Now we're almost done. All we need to do now, it's go from here. If you remember the first one, and actually you can play it. You can go back to that video if you want to. On the first one, we see this elevation move up, right, more or less where it should be on our work here in Illustrator. See, notice the elevation is not right in the center. It's somewhere high, a little bit higher than half. So we need to make that we need to make it look like it's moving up into place in this sign that we did. Okay, again, right now it looks like, if we look at the Photoshop, see, it's right in the middle of the canvas. So it looks like if it's right here, right? So we need to move it up and then transition into this. Now, so we're gonna use the keyframes, but we're gonna do something different now. Instead of doing one by one and move this layer, move that layer, and move this layer, which is all these three, people, color, and sky. Instead of moving them up, it's easier for them to be combined and moving them. But if I combine them right now, I won't be able to do this because it's gonna be one layer. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna make copies of these 3 layers and then combine those 3 copies. Okay? Okay. If it doesn't make sense, just do it, and you'll get what I'm trying to say. So in other words, I'm trying to get this right here, which is sky, color, and people, and move them up. Use the keyframes to move the position. But instead of doing one by one, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna make copies of these 3 layers, and those copies combine them into one layer, and then move just one layer up. Okay, so let's do that. So I'm gonna go to color, right click, and duplicate layer, and by default it's gonna be color copy. That's fine. And I'm gonna get people. I'm gonna have it off. People, right click, duplicate layer, people copy. That's good. And also sky. We're gonna go to sky, right click, duplicate layer, sky copy. There you go. So now what I did, I have copies of those layers, but I want to combine those copy layers. I want to combine people copy, color copy, and sky copy. What I'm going to do, I'm going to turn all the layers off except for the ones that I want to combine. All right. Okay, what I did right here, I'm sorry, I didn't explain. If you want to turn on, off, or on layers, you have to click one by one. You can just click and drag like this, and it turns all the layers off. So I'm going to turn all the layers off except the ones that I need. I need copy, sky copy, and turn that one on. I want color copy, turn that one on, and people copy, turn that one on. So all of them are off except people copy, color copy, sky copy. Now, why do we want everything off and only the copy ones on? Because we're going to combine them. And we're going to combine them by using layers. And the way we're going to take it or do it, it's by combining the layers that are visible. So that's why we only leave on the ones that you want to combine. So I'm going to go to copy, color copy, right click, and if you go right here, it says merge visible. So it's going to merge the layers that are on. That's why I turned everything off except those three. So merge visible, and now they're together. It kept the name color copy. You can change it here if you want to. I'm going to leave it like that. But now I have a copy by its layer by itself with all these three elements: sky, color, and people. Okay. Again, people, color, sky. But now I still have them, because I need them for this part of the animation. But I made another layer, and it's called color copy. And in color copy, we have all these three combined into one. So now I can play around only with this layer. I'm going to pull it down under sky. Okay. Now here it is. Now notice I'm going to open that layer, and the only thing with this is that it keeps the keyframes that it had, but I don't want them. I don't need them. On color copy, I don't need this opacity thing. I'm just going to change the position, so I'm going to get those keyframes and delete them. So just click on the keyframe and press delete, and they're gone. All right, so I'm going to move them now. I'm going to move this the layer for it to go right after this three. Okay, so up to now, if I play it, okay, they're off. Let me turn them on. So if I play it, they come in, and then it stays, right? It stays because it continues this three combined into one, which is this one. If I leave it like that, it's going to continue. But I want for them to appear, and at this point, I want this elevation or this view to start moving up. Okay, for it to start moving up. So we're not going to use opacity at the beginning. We're going to use position, this one, opacity at the end. So let's go ahead and do that. So I want to put it right at the beginning, and I'm going to put a keyframe right there on position. So open it up. There you go. And I'm going to go all the way over here towards the, maybe not the end, maybe somewhere. Well, actually, let's put it at the end. Oh, around there. And I'm not going to do a keyframe. All I'm going to do is move, with the move tool, move this layer up. More or less up to there. Make sure, don't move it like this. Make sure it just goes straight up, because now we'll see the sky. A little above half. Notice it did a keyframe by itself. So what it's going to do now, it's going to move. It's going to go from the original position to the new position. Okay? So now it's going to be doing this. People appear, and then here it's going to start moving. All right? Now, we might need to tweak this. We'll see. Now, if you look at the original video, it moves up, and then it starts disappearing. And when it starts disappearing, the sign in the back starts appearing. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to bring now everything that I have here. Everything, the way you see it here. So make sure everything, you might not have this one. I don't know what I did with that, so I'm going to lock that one. I don't even know what it has. But I'm going to turn everything on, because I'm going to bring the whole thing in. Okay? So I'm going to select it, grab everything, they're unlocked, copy, and I'm going to come to Photoshop, and actually I can move it. I'm going to put it right there. Edit. Now it might take a while because it's a lot of information, so it's still processing. There you go. Paste. Pixel. Yeah. Now when it pastes, I'm going to paste it right there, and then I'm going to scale it up. So when it comes in, I'm going to press OK. Now I can see it, right? This is on top. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn everything off except that one so I can see. Okay, now I'm layer 1. I'm going to put here poster. Actually, put it. Okay, so in poster I have the actual image, right? So notice that it's a little bit small because I left that a little bit bigger than what I should have. So I'm going to go to edit, transform, scale, and get it from a corner, press shift, pull it up. Corner, bring it down. Just for it to show I don't see any white. So I think that's good. Okay, press enter. There we go. So now I have it where I need it. Okay, now I'm going to turn everything on again. There we go. So now, again, we're towards the end. Now, what's been happening is that transition from shadows into color, sky appears gradually, people appear gradually, and then we get towards the end, and then we combine these three into one layer, which we're going to make that layer start moving. Now here, while it's moving, around this point, I want for it to start disappearing while it's moving, and the poster to start appearing. So I might need to pull this in, and again, here's where you have to start playing around with it. Don't follow the same keyframes that I have or the same frame or timeline. It might be a little bit different. So here, it's gonna start going up. Actually, let me play it, see how fast it's gonna be. Yeah, it's a good pace. Around there, I want for it to start disappearing, because in other words, I want for it to still show while it's moving, and I can tweak this later on. So I'm gonna press opacity now, and that's gonna be 100%, which it is, right? And I'm gonna go towards the back, maybe not towards the end, maybe around here. And again, I can tweak these, and I'm gonna bring this to 0. So now it's gonna start moving and disappearing at the same time. See how it's moving, and then it's gonna start disappearing. All right. So now I'm gonna play with poster, and again, they have to overlap. Now with poster, I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna play with opacity, and I'm gonna go maybe around here. Maybe around. Well, I can tweak it. I'm gonna put it here for now, and I'm gonna put a keyframe there, and I'm gonna take it to the beginning, and I'm gonna lower the opacity to 0, and automatic is gonna do a keyframe. So for it to do this right here. Okay, so it's coming in, it's moving up. As it's moving up, it's gonna start disappearing right there. It's still moving, and then as it's moving and disappearing, the poster starts coming in gradually. And while the big elevation is moving, disappears, the other one, or everything appears, and that's what we want. Okay, so let's go back and play it, see how it works for us. Now, I probably went a little bit fast now, but you guys get the point. By now, you should be able to get the hang of how the keyframes and the animation works. So let's take it back to the beginning. I pull this down. Where'd it go? Here it is. I'm sorry. Let me just pull this in. There we go. And I'm going to play it. We're at the beginning, and press play. Appears, gradual change, good. Gradual change, good. It's a little bit fast, maybe I can tweak that later on. Gradual change, comes in gradually, starts moving, starts disappearing, the other one comes in, and there we go. That's what we want. And I think I went to, let's see, yeah, like second 22, yeah, so around there, second 20 seconds to 30 seconds, you should be fine. Okay, so once again, let me play it again, and that's what you want. Subtle changes. Comes in, transitions, transitions, transition, stays, sky comes in gradually, stays, people coming gradually, stays. At this point, it's the other layer moving up, start disappearing, poster comes in, and there you go. Okay, so this is what I want you to do. Now, if you think it gets too too much at the end, like it keeps on going, and you don't want for it to go. Like in my case, I think it stayed for a little bit longer than what I needed. I can just grab this, maybe put it on 21, maybe 21 seconds instead of 22. You know, it's your call. Just make sure you see it enough. You see it enough at the end. I think that's enough. Maybe at 20, I'm going to put mine at 25 seconds. All right. So that's the process. Save. Now, how do we save it as a video? That's going to be the last thing we do. The other half of the final project, we're going to do it in Illustrator. Okay, so this is one half of the project. We're going to upload this video, which I'm going to show you how to save. We're going to upload it to the cloud, and then we're going to create a QR code, which actually, let me open the file. I think I had it here. Yeah, this one. So we're going to make some changes, and they're going to be just changing the size and then adding a QR code. Right now, as you're watching the video, scan that right there. You should be able to see it. Scan it with your phone, with a QR reader. Scan it right now, and what it's going to be doing is going to be sending you to the animation that I did that I already have in the cloud. So you're going to be doing the same thing. You're going to upload that video that we're going to finish right now. We're going to save it as a video. You're going to upload it to the cloud, and then we're going to come back, make some changes, add this QR code to your final project poster, which, by the way, it's a little bit bigger than the previous one. So it's going to be a little bit bigger from the previous one, and we're going to add a QR code. Now that, how to upload it to the cloud, how to do the QR code, and how to scale it up and print it, we're going to do it in class next week, next Wednesday. So make sure you're in class. If not, half of your final exam is not gonna, you're gonna lose those points, and it's 30% of your grade. So make sure you're in class next time. Make sure the animation is ready. Make sure the video is ready. Make sure you did the animation and you have the video. All we're gonna do next week, it's enlarge this to the size that we need it, upload the video, create the QR code, bring it in, put it on the poster, print it out, and make sure that this works with the video or sends to the video. So I'm gonna scan this right here, and you're gonna see what is it that I'm trying to do or what you need to do. All right, this video's got a little bit long. Sorry. Let me show you how to save it. So you're saving the file. Okay, the file that we have is called OB Final Animation. Have it wherever on Pascal or whatever you want to save it. So that's a PSD file. Now we need to do the save it to a video. So I'm going to go to File. We're going to go to Export, and we're going to go down to Render Video right there. All right, it's going to pop up where it should. Analyzing. Oh no, sorry, initializing with the render. Here, don't make any changes. Leave it the way it is here. It's going to be H264, so don't change any of this, okay? The only thing we're going to change is where you're going to save it. If in my case, it gives you here where I'm working from. So it says TaskCAD, you know, the directory where I'm at, and which I want it there. If you want to change it to a different location, press here and select folder, and it's going to send it there. And the name, I don't want to call it final. Oh yeah, I'm going to leave it like that. OB Final Animation. Okay, and it's going to be an MP4. So render. So we're exporting this animation and make it into a video. So it's going to start doing it. There it goes. I'm sorry if this video got a little bit too long. But this is it. The other half of the work that we need to do, it's going to be done in class. So make sure you're there. All right, so I think it did it. So let's look for it. I'm going to go to my folders here. There you go. Fall 18, which is where I was. Excuse me. Did I save it here? Where was it? Here we go. Here's my file, OB File Animation. That's a Photoshop, Adobe Photoshop. And then OB Final Animation, that's our MP4, which is the file that I want. I'm going to double click it, and it's going to open as a video. And there you go. Boom, 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 sky, people, moving, disappearing, the other one comes in. And that's what we want. Now this video, we're gonna put it on the cloud and create a QR code so we can get to it. Okay, so that's a process. It's half of your semester project. Work on it. Next time we meet, make sure you have it. Follow these videos. I'm going step by step. Next week we're gonna finalize, print, and make sure that QR code is gonna be working. All right, get to it, class, please. By the next time we meet, make sure you have this done completely. The video should be done completely. All right, see you next week. I'm gonna also send an announcement with some a little more explanation on what you need to bring, what you need to do or bring for any missing assignments. All right.